Good morning. How's everybody doing?
Good morning.
Good. Well, welcome to uh, 135 Restaurant Operations. Chef Pavla, she's a pastry chef, and myself, Chef Cliff Dickerson, is going to be teaching this class. How's everybody feeling? Everybody feeling all right so far? Everybody logged in? We got 22 or 23 people out of 29. So congratulations. Thank you so much for waking up and enduring this on a crazy past few months. So can everybody hear me? Yeah? Good.
hmm
Yeah.
Good. All right, now a couple things. Let's kind of laundry list of things to do or to talk about. Um, you know, I know this is not probably the most ideal way of learning or being in a class. So, but we're going to try to make it as fun as possible. Um, and just kind of go from there. We're all trying to figure this all out. I think we none of us really know what's going on and how to deal with it all, but we're kind of, I mean, my kids, my daughter's senior year and her prom and all of that has been kind of canceled. So there's been a lot of things on my end as well. So I know everybody has hardships and having problems, but if you have any questions or problems, please do not hesitate to call the school. The school will, Anne and Jermel can also help with helping you find jobs or doing whatever you need. All right. Does anybody have anything they want to talk about now? Y'all good? Do you need a job? Everybody copacetic? Everybody's awake or barely? Um, so some of you, I see the photos of y'all or some of the videos. So there's some of y'all that wanted to have me that now have me, right? So anyway, welcome. Chef Pavla, do you want to say something?
Well, I'm just so excited because I think this is a new way and the new era sometimes of what we are going to be learning about and coming on board and learning something. And remember, we try to learn something every day, and especially with restaurant ops, we kind of want to know how the business is run and how a kitchen works. And that's the important part. Yes, cooking is an important factor, but we also need to know the front of the house and the back of the house and the things that are most important in a restaurant, in a kitchen. And so this is a great factor of really learning the ins and outs of what being a chef is all about. And so I'm kind of excited to partake and teach you all, as Chef Cliff been in this place, in this business for a while too. It's not all about, it is about cooking, but it's also about behind the scenes of what needs to happen when you are working in a kitchen. Getting along with the people around you and also knowing the system of what it takes to run a restaurant. I'm so glad you're all here. Good morning. And I'm in for the ride. Thank you.
Thank you, Chef Pavla. All right, so we're gonna, if there's no questions so far, I'm gonna just kind of start talking about the class. Is everybody good with that? Everybody good? Yeah? All right, cool. Now, first of all, let me kind of go over the Zoom real quick. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be recording all these live sessions. Whatever it is, I'm recording. If there's crickets, I'm going to record crickets, right? If y'all aren't talking, it's still going to record. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting these recordings on the portal. Okay, so where, let's say, for some reason your power's out, something goes wrong, and you cannot you can't be able to watch it live. If you watch it on the portal and then you email one of us, Chef Pablo or myself, probably Chef Pablo because she's going to be doing the attendance. She can put the attendance in that you were there, but it's got to be the day, that day, right? If you don't. If you're not on the meeting as of right now, just you're going to be emailing Chef Pablo after you have watched the kind of the class. Does that make sense? Yes. All right. So that will be there just in case. Now, uniform, all of that. I know some of you are wearing chef jackets. Some of you are not. If you have your chef jacket, I would appreciate you putting it on. If you do not, I would like a solid color shirt, like t-shirt or something, like a black or a white t-shirt would be preferable. But, I see a blue t-shirt, I see a gray one. I think as long as y'all are, if you could try to scrounge up a black or a blue one, or a black or a white one, it would be fine, but not right now. And I see a ball cap on somebody. Could someone take their, my video is all blurry now. Sorry, hold on. Don't know what happened there. Is it still blurry? Yeah. Anyway, I don't know why. Well, it looks blurry to me, but I don't know. I'll try to work on it. I guess self zooming or something. Let's see. So thank you for taking the ball cap off. I appreciate it. And then everybody else, the one thing I would just be careful with is if you have someone in your room or someone with you, just make sure you let them know to stay, they're not naked or running around or what have you. You don't need to tell the person that I saw him naked, but it's all right. Anyway, so just kind of make sure everybody see dressed appropriately. All right. But anyway, let's see. I think I've wasted enough time. We have 26 people online. Rock and roll. We're only a couple of short. So y'all rock, man. That's awesome. I was afraid I was going to come on and like only 2 people be on. So that's awesome. Congratulations. Thank you. Let's see. Any questions that you have? All right, he got clothes on. Thanks. Let's see. So let's go on. And are there any questions about the class or anything y'all want to talk about before we I start getting in the meat and potatoes of everything? I know this world is crazy we're living in right now. I hope y'all are all safe and y'all are doing some distancing, social distancing when it comes to grocery shopping and all that good stuff. Who's working right now? Anybody raise your hand if you're working? I see one. Yep, Miss Brooks. Tell me how's the business right now? How's the restaurants? Where are you working at right now?
I'm actually working at Amazon.
I
work at Amazon.
Oh yeah, that's right. I saw you with your little vest on before.
Yeah.
That's right. Are y'all busy? What is Amazon doing with you to make sure you're okay with COVID-19 or not gonna get it?
They provide us gloves and everything. The only thing I really worry about is the boxes. Touching the boxes.
Yeah.
Because it's different boxes every day. But
yeah. No, I agree.
they're doing good. We can't go in the warehouse, and they have to check
Yeah.
our temperature and everything.
Yeah.
They're
All
trying
right,
to keep
well,
it
cool.
as safe as possible.
Well, be safe.
I-
Anybody else working in a kitchen right now or anything? Raise your hand. No? All right. Well, I see someone chat. What did someone write? How long is the Zoom meeting each day? Well, how long is the Zoom meeting each day? Realistically, I'm going to keep it on from 6 until 9 o'clock every single day. Okay. Now, does that mean that you're going to be online from 6 to 9? Probably not all the time. You're going to be I'm going to start talk like today. I'm going to talk about resumes. And so what I'm going to get y'all to do is we're going to go over the basic resume, basic all of that. And then I'll probably get y'all to, I'll be online if you have any questions, but I'm going to get y'all to work on building your resume, making a resume. And we're going to be you're going to share that. All the documents that you're going to be doing are going to be on Google Docs. Okay. So, and what I would like is for you to share all your Google, like for your resume, share that with me so I can see it at real time and be able to see it. And also if I want to make any notes or any of that sort of stuff, I can put it on the Google Docs. So then you can kind of change it and do it. But we're going to, is everybody on, can everybody get onto the portal and watch the video at the same time? If you can't, you might want to minimize it or whatever else, so where you can get on the portal later on. But we're going to be doing, talking about resume and your resume, and I'm going to get you to send it. So that was a long answer for a short question. Basically, you're going to be on, for a while, maybe an hour, 2 hours or something like that. But then you're going to be doing stuff online or on your own and sending it to me. But I will have my Zoom meeting on so you can come ask me questions until 9 o'clock. Does that answer the question? And is everybody good with that? And there is a chat, kind of a forum where you can type in chat, or if you want to ask any other questions, please feel free to put it on there. There was a spot where you could raise your hand or do some emojis, but I cannot figure out where those emojis went and whatnot. But
It's a participation.
oh, is it? Okay.
If you hit participation, then you can have it with the hand up and hand down.
Oh, okay. Oh, gotcha. All right.
I've been trying.
Oh, have you? Oh, go ahead.
No. What I mean is I've been trying to learn all of this stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm still trying to learn all of this stuff. All right. So, Chef, we've got 27 people on. Do you want to call attendance now, or how would you want to do it? Or just look under participants?
I think that's what basically, I'm still trying to get everybody on the screen for me. And that's the
I can't get everybody on the screen. It's in two screens.
Okay.
But if you click under manage participants, do you see anything that says that, Chef?
Nope.
Okay.
I might have to do some phone calling today to conquer that sucker.
Okay. All right. I'll take care of it for right now. All right, guys. So let's kind of dive on in. Let's talk about resumes. So who has a resume right now? Raise your hand or put thumbs up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So more than half. All right. What I would like you to do is eventually, like tomorrow, I would like you to have your resume with you. So if you could print out your resume or have a copy of it, so where we can kind of go over it together. Okay. And if you have it in Google or on Google, if you could share me a copy of it, I would appreciate it. So I'm going to try to share a screen in just a second. If I can click on share desktop. Can everybody see what I have on, or is there a guy that with paper? Everybody see that or no? Chef Pablo?
I see it.
Okay. All right. Because I can't see the people for some reason now.
Yeah,
Hold
you
on.
don't. It's
Oh, you don't when you're sharing? Okay.
It disappear
Okay.
for me.
All right. So we've got food service management resume. Everybody see that so far?
Correct.
All right. Thank you, Shapabla. You're going to be my eyes because I can't see anybody. So usually on a resume, you typically have first name and last name. Okay. And I would say your true, like my real name is Clifton, but I go by Cliff. So, you know, I would put my real name down, my, that's on my ID, and I would do, hold on. Skipped way past. So I would put my real name right there and just make sure it's in bold letters. And then you got your email. God, it's weird not seeing y'all. Sorry. I make sure your emails. Who has an email? Hold on. Let me try to figure out how to see y'all.
Can I just say what a definition is of a resume?
Yes, please. While I'm
Okay.
working on this.
Doing a resume is a document that is really created by a person to present their background, skills, and accomplishments. Resume can be used in a variety of reasons, and they are used to secure a new employment. Typically, a resume contains a summary or the relevant or the experience that that person has in selling themselves to make it work. And a resume is usually always on one sheet of paper. If it's multi-paper, why do we only do it on one paper? Because a lot of the times the chefs or the person looking at the resume doesn't have time to go to 2 and 3 sheets of paper. There's a limited time for a person. So you want to make sure you sell yourself in really the objective of the resume that you're writing. It's really, really important not to overload it so people are skipping through it. We want people to zero in on the first paragraph to sell yourself and then show what you've done.
Chef, you can keep going. I'm still trying to figure out how I can stop sharing now.
Okay, so in the beginning, you have an objective that you put on the top of the resume, on the first line of the resume, to really understand who you are and what is your goals. And sometimes when a chef sees what your goals are in the beginning of the resume, they want to know if it is yay or nay. People just reading that objective to see where you want to be and where you want to go is important. You can say, you never down yourselves. You want to say that you are willing to participate and learn. But just writing a little bit about yourself, where you come from maybe, or where you want to be in a couple of years. You know, remember, It's not instant gratification like you young people want today. It takes time and a toll to get to where you want to be. And so, as you know, I'm a little bit older, so I've got a little bit underneath my belt, but it is a great way of interpreting what you want to go and where you want to be in a couple of years. And keep changing it, updating it. It's really important. How many years experience have you done to be where you want to be? So resume is really a factor that really involves you and the place you want to work. And remember, try to go someplace where you want to work and not for the sake of something where you're going to learn and where you're going to make things happen. Okay, Chef Cliff?
Yeah, and I'm pulling up that PowerPoint and I'm going to share that one that you sent me.
Also, it's a brief overview of what you have done. You know, people want to know what your accomplishments have been, even though it might not be everything you want, but it's something that they have an understanding of you, because you are the one that's going to be there doing it, not somebody else. It's an overall picture of you.
Hold on, I apologize, technical difficulties here. There we go. Now this is what I was wanting to share, not share desktop. All right, everybody see this PowerPoint right here?
Correct. See it.
All right. So now, today one, restaurant operations, day one, okay? Today is objectives. Everybody see that? Someone read me the objectives for today. Can anybody? Bueller?
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Today's objective: setting expectations, course overview, basics on Google Spreadsheets, inventory on paper.
Here we go. That is day one. So, and I will, this is a wrong number. So if anybody this is like in class type of deal, but let's see, overview of the objective, basic spreadsheets. Does everybody know how to, and I'm doing this because I can't see anybody. Chef Pablo, if you see a bunch of hands, can you let me know? Oh, you can't see either. All right, but spreadsheets, how many people I'm trying to figure out how I can look at y'all without, I hate this. This is weird. Sorry guys, I'm trying to learn as we're going along, so my apologies on technical difficulties. All right, basic spreadsheets, we're going to be learning computer basic tools like a POS system. A POS system is called point of sales system. That's what usually you put on your when you put in orders and all of that sort of stuff, and it helps with inventory, and we'll talk about that. Career path, hiring, training, menu cost, psychology, design, profit and loss, payroll. This course is all about how to run a restaurant, from front of the house, back of the house, to legal, to you name it. In order to run a business, someone read this little bullet right there that's in gray.
In order to run a business, especially on a restaurant, the location, equipment, menu, staffing, and the purveyors play a huge role in the success of food.
Thank you. The purveyors, you know, and purveyors are there to make money too, correct? Like if we go to, let's say, HEB, we get to choose what we buy, right? Our strawberries. We look at those strawberries, we look at them and make sure that they're all fresh and they're accounted for. But the purveyors are bringing the food to us, so they're kind of our middleman. And so we need to be careful and watch out because the purveyors can screw you over very, very easily. So and they bring quality food. So you just got to make sure that everything is quality. And we'll talk about that. Let's see, there are three. Why someone read this last little bit right here. The three out of 5 restaurants fail, right?
3 out of 5 restaurants fail within 5 years of opening, often due to money mismanagement. This course gives you the skills not only to keep their restaurant in business, but also to turn a profit.
Okay, I mean, just think about right now, and I'm going to try to pause sharing. Just think about right now what we're doing right now. I mean, just think of all the restaurants that could be failing right now, or that are failing. Right? I mean, I get an email from a company that sends out restaurants that are for sale, and there are so many restaurants for sale right now. Why? Because people are not running their business, so you're going, and they don't have a lot of money in the bank. And when you don't have a lot of money in the bank, or something where you can withstand the pressure of having being closed down or whatever else, it is very it's very difficult. Jeff, do you want to talk anything about restaurants closing, Chef Pablo?
No, you've got to have a plan. Remember, if you're going to open a restaurant, there has to be a plan. A 2-year plan. The first year, you're not going to be really, they say the first 4 years of a restaurant, you don't make money. It's something that you have to adjust. And when you open up, you have to have a plan so you know what your losses are before you even begin this new adventure. And it takes a lot more sometimes. It takes a lot more time to make it work. Not overstaffing yourself to the point that you bleed yourself. You've got to be realistic about the front of the house and the back of the house to make anything work. Some items, you've got to have a menu that is sellable. So those are the things that people who are opening a restaurant needs to overlook, make sure that they look at to make things work, and to be reasonable enough to adjust to different things that you can make in the restaurant to sell it, to make it work.
Thank you, Chef Pablo. Let's see. Has anybody, if you speak up, has anybody ever been in a restaurant that your restaurant closed down?
Yes.
Tell me about it. What happened? What was it shocking to y'all, or was it something that y'all thought you knew this was coming? Or tell me about it.
No, it wasn't shocking to me at all. It was bad money management. So it was trying to make food, and you're not ordering the best produce. You're not getting the best food. You're trying to order the most high-end foods, but you're selling it at a low price. It's just, it basically boiled down to bad money management. He had no clue what he was doing.
Yeah. And that's what happens a lot of times, especially back when Dell used to, when Dell became popular and all of that, you had a lot of what I call Dellionaires, people that got IPO'd a bunch of money when Dell IPO'd, and they became what I call quote-unquote Dellionaires. Well, you have a lot of Dellionaires that wanted to open restaurants or bars or any of that sort of stuff, and then you saw people that they were great in the business world, but they didn't understand the restaurant world, where you needed to be able to have operating cost, a year's worth of operating cost in the bank. So, you know, in all these people, they wanted a lot of bells and whistles, nice, cool restaurant. But the issue is whatever, I mean, you need to save money for your employees, because if not, I worked at a job that, you know, my checks bounced. And, you know, when your job, you know, the check's bouncing for your paycheck, I mean, that's a horrible thing. And that when that happens, you always need to look for a new job, because that's a total bad sign of what's going on. Let's see, management. Let's see, and I'm kind of scrolling through a lot of these, but y'all can all see it. Chef Pavla, can you still see what I'm sharing?
Yep, sure
Okay,
can.
thank you. All right, let's see, you can be the hottest chef / owner in the restaurant or hotel, but, you know, your quality standards, you know, quality of standards are very important. Hold on, I'm going to stop sharing for a second. All right, there we go. All right, so quality, being a quality chef and bringing quality product to your facility. The way I determine if you're a chef, or one of the ways I determine if you are in the industry or a quality chef, is that you can make product out of, you know, not garbage, but out of just, you know, total utilization. So getting quality food, total utilization is very important as well when you are trying to make quality food. Because, for example, let's say I've got ribs, or I'm fabricating a pig, let's say. I'm fabricating pig and I have ribs on the side. I would use those ribs for my bar menu, and then I would use all the other meat for, you know, just total utilization. Make sausage or make bacon out of it. You know, just total utilization out of all the product. Pavla, you want to jump in while I'm changing
Remember that
slides around?
when you are opening a restaurant, one of the key ingredients for a profitable and a good restaurant is, well, a plan for number one. Definitely a plan that you need to bring together. The second thing is, when you get into your space and you find out the menu that you are going to offer, is you have to have a preferred vendors list. So make sure you scout out your vendors that are going to supply to you. If you don't do that, then you're not going to know what kind of product you're going to get every day. And if you are believing in quality, which is the main goal when you do a restaurant, is if you're going to do the quality, then you're going to have to get a preferred vendors list. And that is a key ingredient of a good restaurant, is to make sure you have your vendor acceptable to what your standards are. So, because there's some vendors that are smaller and are better really in pricing than the large ones that think you are just another number that they're going to be delivering to. So you have to really remember key ingredients, quality ingredients for your restaurant, not anybody else's, your restaurant, to make sure that you come across giving a quality product to the quality customers.
Who's been at a restaurant that does not have quality food? And do you feel, how do you feel when you're paying for it and you feel like do you feel like you got gypped? You know, you feel like you didn't get your money's worth? You know? All right. Let's see here. Chef, I am trying, guys, I'm sorry. I'm trying to, it will not share again. Hold on. I'm trying my best. I apologize. Chef, do you mind just kind of filling, talking for a sec while I try to get this to share again?
Sure. I kind of talked about the restaurant, to understand how a business is run. Some of the things that you're going to be needing is key people around you. How many people are you going to be working in a restaurant to make sure that the restaurant survives? Or even, if we're not even going to be talking about you owning the restaurant. We're talking about where you're working right now. What is the importance of what you want to convey to your employer to make sure that you give them 100% because their money is on the line? And if you don't contribute towards the restaurant that you work at, you're making a downfall for them. So you need to give 100% of wherever you go to make it work. And that is a key factor. Be responsible for what your job is for the people that you work for, or if it's your own. Sometimes when it's your own, you work an awful lot harder. You think that you're going to open a restaurant and it's going to be a 9 to 5 job, or maybe from 10 in the morning to midnight. It's a 24-hour job to relate to what you want to express in a restaurant. So we talked about key ingredients, right? We have to come up with a menu. Surround yourself with somebody that is good, not your best friend, somebody that is knowledgeable of what you want to deliver if you're owning the restaurant. Key importance for that. And so, doing all the important parts of what you're doing is really important. People around you, that's what makes or breaks you. Yes, you have to be the stem, but they are the leaves that go around to make it work. And so it's very, very important. I don't see any of your faces. I'm trying to figure that out on my computer, but I will, because, and a new factor for me, really, and for Chef Cliff, understanding what is staffing. It's a huge role, like I just talked to you about a few minutes ago. How we talked about surrounding yourself with the people that you want to work for you and make it work. I always say, sometimes I was in the hotel business. That's mostly all my life has been in the hotel business. I surround myself with good people, and I used to go to my head chef and say, you've got to pay them more because they're worth it. So that is an important factor. If you own a restaurant, you back your people up and you will deliver more and you than anybody else. You ready, Chef?
Hold on. We have 30 people now. I'm just taking photos of everybody that's on here so where I can have a.
I wish I could see that. That's what I'm trying to get to.
I'm going to send you it. I'm going to send it to you.
Okay. I would appreciate
And guys,
that.
we're trying to figure out what's best. It's day one. Sorry, we're all kind of trying here. So hopefully, I know I'll get better at sharing product and doing all of this. But I was practicing this last week, and yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm not so practiced up on this. So my apologies. Let's see. So what I might, from now on, what I think I might do is I might just send out every day a PowerPoint, this PowerPoint, so you can be able to see it ahead of time instead of me trying to go through it individually. So I'm going to try to post it. Try to post it on the portal. I tried to, but I'm going to just email it to y'all probably as a attachment of something. But I'll probably send it via email this afternoon to everybody just to make sure that everybody gets the PowerPoint, because it's sometimes hard to share your screen and then try to talk to y'all at the same time. But let's see. Guys, honestly, this class is how to not run your restaurant to the ground. Plain and simple. I mean, how to manage your staff, make sure your staff is basically happy, make sure you're happy, make sure you're producing good food, make sure you're getting good food, making sure this restaurant runs smoothly, plain and simple. That's what we want, and that's what we want to learn in this class. And unfortunately, this class there's going to be some jumping around, talking about storeroom and then going into front of the house. So there's going to be some jumping around, but please understand that there's a kind of a method to the madness of this jumping around. And there is going to be a project at the end of this class, and I forgot to talk about that. And I will, it is on the portal, the project. It is basically a restaurant project. Okay, that you're going to have to cost out some recipes, and we'll kind of go over that in a little while, but you're going to have to create a menu, cost out recipes, get basically, it's the start of a business plan. Basically, you're kind of, and when you get into not restaurant operation, it's what entrepreneurship class, you will use this project that you started in here to do for the entrepreneurship. Has anybody been in entrepreneurship already? Raise your hand if you have. Anybody? No? All right. So cool. All right. So this is going to be your first start to the project, and I will be kind of going over it and giving you ideas and telling you about it. But I wanted to make sure that I had missed that on my topic list. I skipped that. And I wanted to make sure y'all knew about this project. But if you want to look at it on the portal, that's fine. I'm going to actually share my screen if I can and show you the portal so everybody kind of, instead of us getting in the meat and potatoes of it all, let me make sure everybody can get on the portal and kind of move around. So I'm going to try to share my screen of the portal. Desktop. Share. Okay, so here is the portal for the class. Everybody see that?
Yep.
Right, and this is kind of set up a little different than our other ones. You can jump from 1 week, week 1, week 2, from all the way up here. Does everybody see those numbers right there? You can just go to any of the weeks. Let me change roles to a student role real quick so you can see it. What y'all see? I guess y'all don't see that. So, all right. So we have kind of a little section right here. It's got, talking about composed salads. So you can click on that, and it's got a video of a chef creating a composed salad. I'll let y'all watch that later. But egg rolls, sushi, grilled steak, all of the things right there. Then if you see that, all you have to do is get on to the portal and you click that right there every morning. That will bring you to the Zoom meeting every morning. Then you have learning, just some stuff that, resources and all of that. And then you've got check your knowledge. You need to make sure you do the check your knowledge. And we'll click that, and you can kind of see, and it's the same kind of check your knowledge, those little math questions, I believe, when it comes to that. And I'll open all the check your knowledge so everybody can get in and knock that out. And then it says, for week 1, we're going to learn resumes, interviewing, all of this sort of stuff. These are the objectives for week 1. So we're going to hit these objectives for week 1 now. And so what I would like to make sure is everybody, for your homework today, I would like you to send me your resume. If you do not have a resume, could you email me and let me know that you do not have that you don't have a resume, and then we will, you and I will work on creating a resume for yourself. Does everybody understand that? All right. So, Chef Pablo, am I still on?
Yeah, you're still on.
Okay, thank you. All right, so why does it keep going like that? All right, so you've got, that's for week 1, and hiring, policies, procedures, orientation and training. I don't know why my computer wants to keep moving. But those are the things we're going to be learning this week. So the most important thing is trying to get your resume together. Good Lord, why does it keep doing? All right. Getting your resume is something that I need everybody to work on. So my feeling today is making sure that everybody can get on and create a resume. And we are going to just work on that today. All right. So you're going to put your first name. And if you can't do it, you have a piece of paper, you can create a resume with a piece of paper for right now. So you're going to put your first name on the top. If you could, since I can't see you, you can open up another tab on your computer, and you can, let's go ahead and create, what would be a good program to use for creating a resume? Anybody? That's a Google item, like Docs or Sheets or what? Anybody?
I did my resume on Google Docs.
Yep. All right. So I would say everybody get onto Google Docs, create a blank item just like that, and you've got a blank item. We're going to name this if I can do it. Why did my computer freeze up? Y'all there? You there?
I'm here, Chef.
Oh, okay, good. I thought my computer died. It was crickets. All right, so you're going to name this Clifton's resume, or, whatever student, just like you can type it student resume or whatever else, Clifton. All right, and then let me get back to the resume. There we go. All right, so you've got Clifton's resume, then you're going to type in your last name. Use this to create a resume. Hold on, there is a chat. Google chat. Yes.
Conquer that.
Do what?
I said, I got everybody on the screen. Hi, guys.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I figured
Yay!
it out. I figured it out.
That's awesome.
We
That's
had two
awesome.
phone calls later, but that's okay.
Hey, but that's great. Good.
You all don't look excited, guys. We need to be excited.
Yeah, well, they're chef. This is only. This is only if you don't. So if you do have a resume, that's fine. Please send it because we're going to be using that resume. I just want to be able, if you do not have a resume, and Chef, can you see everybody now?
Yep, I sure can.
Okay, so if you can see everybody, could raise your hand, guys, if you do not have a resume. Chef, how many people is that?
Only saw one hand go. Oh, second one is Andrew and James. James Francis?
Okay, those two people do not have a resume, so.
But I can see.
Okay.
I have a resume, Chef. I have a resume.
Okay. Okay. So what I just want to make sure is everybody has a resume, and if you don't, we need to create one. Does that make sense? So if you have one, please share it with me. Copy and paste it and put it in a Google Drive and share it with me. Very important. And everybody, can everybody do that for me? Is make sure that you send me your resume. And then once you get your resume done, then we go over the interviewing process. And we're going to be kind of interviewing each other. I might pair, I don't know, James and Robert together, and I would get y'all to do an interview in front of all of us tomorrow. So kind of, we're going to be talking about interviewing tomorrow with your resume, and I'm going to be looking at your resumes while I interview you, or interview each other. In interviewing over the camera is so much different than interviewing in person, right? You have to do so much more on camera because of, you're not in front of everybody. You need to be a little more animated. You need to, be able to talk a lot more, be able to talk, I guess, to nobody or to a screen. And that's sometimes very hard. I'm not a big, this is something very new to me, so it's very different. And when you come to interviewing online like this, has anybody ever had to interview online like this through a Zoom or through a FaceTime or any of that sort of stuff? I've had I got a call and got interviewed over the phone. That's a little different. But here you get to see people, see everything, it's a little, just a lot, or I would say a lot different than just in person. So that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. I want to make sure that everybody has the resume so where we can kind of do that tomorrow. Resumes, when you're building your resume, what I want you to have all the information, education. Like, for example, for me, I have a couple of different resumes. I have one that spotlights my education, like for me to be an educator. So where I have in any, awards from being an educator down, I've got all my education, kind of all what I've done and all of that. Then I have what I would call an executive chef position resume where I spotlight my cooking aspect, not my education, but more of my cooking stuff. So where I can spotlight that. So I have about 3 or 4 different resumes that I use for different positions that I'm going to go for. So when you are creating your resumes, you might want to think about, okay, is this more for a management job? Is this more for a kind of a working chef job? And I have different resumes for different jobs, and that's something that you might want to think about as you go along, having different resumes. I think that's very helpful because you spotlight what you're really wanting, and it kind of brings it down a little bit more, so where you can figure out what you really want and what the employers are looking for. Because the employers, for me, if I'm a teacher or an instructor right now, maybe if I'm going for a line cook position, no one really cares if I was an instructor or not. They want to know about my cooking experience, not my teaching experience. Does that make sense? So you want to spotlight what job you're looking for. Depends on what kind of resume you're going to be producing. And sometimes people will do that with cover letters. A cover letter, for example, like, hey, I am interested in this position because blah, or whatever else. So you can kind of have a cover letter that kind of explains it, but I have a cover letter that explains it, plus I tailor my resume to whatever job I'm looking for. So where it makes it a little easier for me. So making sure that you tailor your resume, I think, is very important. Making sure you do not lie. Don't lie. Don't stretch the truth. Don't do any. If you didn't do that job or you don't know how to do it, don't tell them you know how to do it, or don't say you know how to do it, because that's going to come up and bite you in the butt eventually. So you've got to be very careful with that, because, I mean, if you lie to something on your resume, that's easy. I could fire you in a drop of the hat, no problem. So just be very careful. And, this industry is big, but it's very small in a way where everybody knows everybody. For example, I had a student that, called on the phone to a restaurant, or David Bull at Second or Congress or whatever you want to call his places. But she called and she was like, hey, I'm quitting. She called over the phone on that day, and then she got another job, or she got a job with another chef. But when she walked in, she didn't realize David Bull was friends with the chef that she just got a job with. Well, and now David Bull's sitting there, and she quit over the phone with the sous chef, and David was like, why aren't you at work? And she was like, well, I quit. I'm now here. And it was just an awkward feeling, awkwardness. So just make sure you don't burn a bridge, because it is a very small, I mean, granted, it's huge industry, but it's very small. Everybody kind of knows everybody around this business. Chef Pablo, do you agree on that?
You know what? The chef's world, they only know by how good you are and how you deliver. And people don't forget that. So give it your all, and always remember that when you leave a job, you never know when you need that same job back. And you'll always say, oh no, I'll never come back. But I guarantee you, you never know when you need something that you might have to go back. So always leave with dignity, give a respect, and 100%. And then it'll always tap you on the back to say you did a good job, and you were respectful of them, and they'll be respectful of you. Never know.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think respect goes a long way, especially when it comes to leaving a restaurant. Always, and I'm gonna kind of get ahead of myself, but always give 2 week notice. Never one day, or and try to always give 2 week notice. That's important.
Well, they might tell you to leave right away because a lot of restaurants do that and say when you give a notice, they'll say, "Oh, you can go."
Yeah, and that's
They're
fine.
famous for that, but
Yeah, no, that's fine, but just don't say,
I agree.
you
I
know,
quit
yeah, because that's gonna come by
or don't
butt
show up. Yeah.
for sure. Let's see. Hold on. Right. So, when you, with resumes, I have about a couple of them that I deal with. And then someone asked if on the chat about a resume saying, hey, can I use one from when I was doing another job? And the question is, yes, you can use from truck driving or from military or whatever else. You can have that on there, but you just want to add maybe your culinary, hey, I'm at Escoffier Culinary School, just kind of add a little bit. If you have a certification, a SurfSafe certification, you can add that. You can add any sort of, and I don't know if y'all have gone through nutrition or not, but you can add nutrition to, if you have a certificate for nutrition or whatever else, you can always add that to it as well. Anything that will be there will help you get a job. That's what we really want. Does that make sense? So yeah, you can use other, from your other job or whatever else, your other career, because I think truck driving or sales, if you were a doing sales or whatever else, that's still a job, right? You're still selling yourself, you're still selling product, you're still doing customer service, you're still doing many different things. So, whatever you did in your past life, I think is very important in your new life. But you just need to kind of integrate both of them together and make sure that, you have your sales stuff over, and plus you spotlight your whatever class you've gone through. If you've done, I don't know, beginning the restaurant, 201 or the any of the protein classes or any of regionals or whatever else, I would write that down. Know how to do regional cooking or whatever else. So you make sure you put any information that can sell you, down, because people are going to be buying you, basically, right? They're buying your time. So you want to make sure everybody knows what your skills are and what kind of sellable skills you have to bring to the table. I feel like, when we're in a kitchen, organization is very important. Cleanliness is very important. Right? I would put on my resume something, clean and organized, or a team player, because especially with all these resumes, has anybody ever sent anything like your resume to, I don't know, let's say, Poached or any of those job sites, right? The Hot Jobs or whatever all the job sites are now. But if you do that, a lot of times that company has a thing where I can type in keywords like team player, and it's going to search every resume that was sent in. Let's say all 29 of y'all sent in a resume and only 2 of you wrote team player on there. I'm only gonna, if I designated, I only want people with team player written in their resume, I'm gonna only be able to see those 2 people out of the 29 people that we have that put in their resume. It's only going to throw into my inbox those 2 people because they put in those keywords. So when you're looking at resume, or when you're looking to get a job, you need to make sure you look at the job listing. The listing is very important. What they are looking for. Can you lift 20? You know, most of the time it says you have to lift up to 25 pounds, right? Okay, why is that? Why do they say you have to lift 25 pounds or you have to stand for a certain amount of hours? Why, somebody, you know, pipe in and tell me why. Anybody? Bueller? All right, the reason why is because they need to make sure that you have a working back. You know how to, you know, or that you're not, that you, and we're going to be talking about some sensitive things in this class as well, talking about like ADA, you know, Americans with Disabilities. It's very difficult to convert a kitchen wheelchair accessible. Have you ever thought about that? You know, if I don't say that you have to be able to stand up for a certain amount of hours or be able to lift and be able to move 25 pounds, I might have to, if I don't have those requirements there, it might opens the door for certain, you know, for certain things that I might have to spend a lot more money on. Okay, and so there are reasons why companies say, can you lift something 25 pounds? Can you walk for, you know, stand, or you're going to have to work weekends and holidays, right? If that's what it says on the job listing, well, then I need to make sure that maybe on my resume, willing to work weekends and holidays, because then if they wrote something, you know, it'll populate to me and it'll send it in. So you need to look at, is this borderline discrimination, someone wrote. Yes, in a way, but no in a way. Let me explain. Let's see. For example, if I wanted like a country club. Has anybody ever been in a country club or know a country club? You have to apply. You have to pay dues. You are what I would call part owner when you become in a country club. And that's why I can discriminate, you know, as long as I put it out there, like, okay. Let's talk about Hooters, or let's talk about, let's just talk about Hooters. Hooters tried to create a airline, okay? It was called Hooters Airline, and they had planes with Hooter girls on there and all of that. Well, they had to, those people had to have a certain bus size. They had to weigh a certain weight. They had to have a certain, you know, so, but it is out for the publication. As long as and I guess I'm trying to explain how you can discriminate without discriminating. Hold on. Let's see. They can get fired for weighing too much. Okay, and you know, if the Hooters people, they could get fired because they weighed too much, or like casinos, a lot of the people have to have weigh a certain weight or look a certain way, and if they do not, they will get fired. The reason why is because it was in their job description. And if it's in their job description, if I want only blonde hair, blue-eyed people, in my business, I need to make sure on my job description it says we're only looking for blonde hair, blue-eyed people. But the minute I hire someone that's not blonde hair, blue-eyed, that opens me up for litigation for everybody else that I've ever said no to. It opens me up for litigation, and then that's would be total, discrimination right there. But if I leave it open and say, hey, I only want people with facial hair working in my business, well, the minute somebody shaves off their facial hair, I would have to let them go, because that is part of my job description, that everybody has to have facial hair, and if you don't, you're going to be fired. Let's say at Le Cordon Bleu. When I worked at Le Cordon Bleu, the last year that they were open, they were trying to save money and all of that, and so they are 2 years. They said all employees have to be nicotine free, no tobacco, no nothing in your system, or you would have to pay for your own insurance. So, they required us to take if we wanted them to pay for our insurance, we had to be nicotine free. And they took a blood test to make sure that we had no nicotine in our system. But it was a requirement that, eventually that we had a year to quit. And after a year to quit, then if we did not quit, we would get fired. So it was a smoke-free company after that. And so where there are some ways to, smoking is, I could get fired for smoking cigarettes on my own time. And so that's the deal, is that you can be discriminatory or how would you say that? Discriminatory, yeah. Discriminatory, and in people with, with smoking or with just in anything, as long as you put it out there to the public right at the very beginning, you can get what you want. But the minute you change your tune and change it and say, hey, someone now is there with no facial hair, then that means that I'm opening myself up for hundreds of people that I rejected over the years, right? Hundreds of people, so where they could come give me an EEOC complaint, basically a equal opportunity complaint, and that will follow you for the rest of your life if you have that. So that's kind of a tough deal. But that's kind of when you're talking about when we're talking about creating resumes and interviewing with people, you need to make sure that you look at the job description. That is the one thing that tells you what they're looking for. And if they're not looking for what you're looking for, don't apply. You just got to look at your all the job descriptions and decide if this is what's right for you. And then that's when, if that job description talks about, if this is about purchasing, being a purchaser for your facility, well, that means that I want to spotlight all my purchasing qualities, right? So I'm going to move anything that has to do with purchasing up to the top of my resume and move maybe my education stuff down lower, so where I spotlight that one item that they're really looking for. Does that make sense? Hopefully that does. Chef Pablo, do you want to add anything?
No, the truth is really the best thing to write on a resume, because nobody else is going to do the job but you. So if you're going to lie on your resume and you're going to show up for that job, or your performance is what you're going to show, what's on that piece of paper. And You know, and sometimes lying doesn't help at all. You could say, I haven't been able, or I am not great at it, but I'm willing to learn. And if that's what a person on a resume, when you go for that interview, making sure that you live up to what you wrote on that piece of paper. The truth is really, and then making sure that you're a team player. I think that is the most important factor in putting it on a resume, that you are a team player. You are on time. That's another big thing to write on a resume. Punctual. That is another thing, because a lot of people, you know, in the restaurant business, if you've worked in it, that if somebody doesn't show up, then somebody else has to step up to the plate to cover your shift and their shift. And it's not an easy thing, because when two people are out, then where can you go? Working double of making things work. So being truthful, showing up, and doing what you said you are going to do is the most important factor of a restaurant, or your restaurant, or a person, place where you work. Important factors. Honesty. But you can tell them that you need to learn a little bit, or need to make sure that the job that you are going there, you might not be great at it, but you will be great at it. Be positive. That's another big thing, is being positive about where you're going to go. Don't go for a job that you think that you're not going to want to work there. You have to love every day when you wake up to go to a job, guys. You have to love what you're doing. And this is a profession that people judge you the minute they meet you sometimes. And that's not a good thing. So appearance is a really important factor when you show up for a job. And then make sure that you conquer what they see. And that's really, really important. I don't know if you agree with me, Chef, because if you show up sloppy, they're not going to hire you. Even though your resume can be out of this world, they're not going to hire you, because first impressions are so important when you're doing that. And really, and your goals, to make sure that you are on top of it all. Kind of important.
I agree. All right. Let's see. Ray, I only see about maybe a handful of people that are sharing their video right now. Out of those handful of people that are showing your video, do y'all want to take a 5-minute or like a 10, 15-minute break? Are y'all good, or what would y'all like to do? Do y'all need to get up and get you a coffee and move around for a second, or are y'all good? I got one chat. Let's see. Yes. Or, yes, you want to break. All right. Do y'all want to reconvene? I'm going to leave my thing on, but do you want to come back at 7:30? That's 15 minutes from now. Are y'all good with that, or do y'all want to, Chef Pavla, what do you think?
Whatever.
I have a couple of people that are saying good.
I'm trying to write down everybody's name if I can to.
Here, I've got it. I'm going to email. I'm going to send you a picture. I've got pictures of all the people that were in here. So I will do it. All right. So I think everybody is saying sounds good, thumbs up type of deal. So, and so I'm going to just kind of stop my video. And I'm going to just kind of run and get a little more coffee and do a couple things. Then I'll be back in here on here at 7:30. Sound good?
That's great. I'll be here anyway. Right. I'm not going to go anywhere. But
okay. I'll be right back.
All right. Thank you. Everybody doing all right? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody got off.
Okay, I'm going to try to do something. Speaker view.
How's everybody today?
Chef.
Yes.
I have a question. I don't know if if it's okay that I press to leave to come back, is that okay? Or should I just
Sure.
leave it alone?
Well,
That's fine.
I would leave it alone because
Oh.
I'm really not good at this myself. I'm learning a lot like you all are.
Oh, okay.
And I'm here to, I'm still trying to figure out how to get everybody on one big screen, but I'm going to work at it, but to make things work.
Okay.
But I'm really trying myself too. It's kind of today's the first day of getting all of this together, and
Yeah.
it's a learning experience, isn't it?
Yeah.
You like it?
I'm not
Do you
very
li-
good with
do you-
it either, but I
Yeah.
like it so far.
Do you like it
It's-
so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't what I
Are you
thought
in
it would be.
culinary? Are you in
Yes, I
culinary?
am.
Okay. And so how long have you been at the school?
I've been here since August.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Okay.
I believe I see you pretty often when we were in the kitchen.
Oh, do I? In which kitchen were you? Who were you with?
We were with Ritter the last 2 times that I was in the kitchen.
With who? Ritter. Okay.
Yeah, with Chef Ritter.
Chef Ritter. So you were really in kitchen number 6, wasn't you?
Yeah, in the 6 a.m. classes.
Okay, the 6 a.m. And I was in the mid, like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, that's when
Yeah.
you would be passing by, like around the
Correct.
time when we were finishing up plating.
Yeah. Yep. I understand. Yep.
Hmm.
Well, I'm really glad because I've worked in hotel majority of my life. I've been in hotels and country clubs, so it's an aspect of writing a resume to. Another question I want to ask you: what do you love about the kitchen?
Oh, I love interacting with everybody. It's so much more fun than, cooking by yourself. Like
I
that's
know,
what
but
I enjoy.
who made you cook?
Who made me cook? I believe it was more like all my family had
Inspired
they
you,
wanted
I meant to say inspire you. I don't made you. Inspired you to do this profession. It's a big difference. There's a big
Yeah.
difference. There's a
Yeah.
big difference.
Yeah, my uncle actually inspired me when he would babysit me and take care of me to help out my mom. And he's a really good cook too. He's always making Thanksgiving dinners, and I loved watching him. And I think that's what made me really want to join culinary and do something, because that's something I like to do. It makes me really happy.
Okay, and where are you from, Austin, or are you from outside Austin?
I'm from outside Austin. I'm from the Rio Grande.
Oh, Rio
In South,
Grande.
in
Yeah,
South Texas.
Yeah, I know that place. And it really, and your uncle is the one that really made you aware of where you are.
Yeah, he actually stays in Austin, so he lived there too, and then he moved to Austin.
Okay, is he a chef or is he just a home cook?
He's more of a home cook. He never went to culinary school,
But
but
he's
once
good.
I joined, I believe he's thinking about joining Escoffier as well.
Oh, well, that's wonderful.
Yeah, he sees how much fun I'm having there, and he thinks that he might like it too.
Well, that's
So
wonderful. Yeah,
yeah,
it
is.
changes your life. You know, the people that love to cook. I don't know if anybody else is on right now, but the people that love to cook or bake, either way, because I'm in pastry mostly, and
Mhm.
we love attention. Is that true? Think about
I think my favorite thing I love to make is bread. Like I love making bread. I love rolling dough.
you love the
So
smell of it, the touch of it,
yes,
and the eating of
yes,
it. And then another
yes.
thing you love is when somebody eats it, the smile on their face.
Right, and they tell you how good it is, or like I think I've made the best bread by getting feedback to, like when my friends would tell me it's a little too sweet or salty.
But you
And
learn.
yeah,
you
I learned, and
see,
it's
and
a lot of fun.
but don't forget, everybody has a different interpretation
Hmm.
what is good. So when people come to a restaurant, don't, yes, you have to follow a recipe, but make it your own. Because majority of people that come back come back because you made that bread, or you made that dinner, or you made that dish. You know,
Yes.
they want your feedback to make sure that you get what you want to do and interpret it. Doesn't mean go off the wall, because you young people like to go off the wall with these flavors. I don't want you doing that. I want you, and that's what the school is all about, is the foundation of a recipe.
Yeah.
You get that?
Yeah, I get that.
And I'm just so thrilled to talk to you. Your name, Victoria?
Yes, my name's Victoria.
I got it.
I wasn't
I've
sure if
written
you
it
could
down.
tell.
And I really appreciate it. This is a hard thing for all of us, me especially, because I'm not used to computers, and I've had to have so much backup or calling everybody to say, how do I do this and how can I get there?
Oh,
Because
trust me, I'm the same way. I was asking everybody, like, I'm not great at computers at all. I couldn't
Well,
figure
look-
it out on my own
look
computer,
at
just on
me
the
at my
phone.
age, and I'm trying to conquer it. Do you know what I mean? And so hopefully that I want to learn something every day. I don't care if it's baking. I don't care what it is. I need to go to bed at night learning that I've learned something today. And feel about that in your life, about your cooking. Learn something every day. And if you learn something every day, you will be a better chef and a better person. Because if you were a better person, then you will be a great chef. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, I get what you mean.
And that's what it's all about. It really is all about to learn that. But and then you have to kind of work with us, because this is all new to all of us to make things work. So I have an iPad, a phone, a touch screen, and a monitor. I don't know what to do first, but I'm conquering it.
Victoria.
Yeah?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey, Chef.
Hi, good morning.
Hello. If you hover at the top of your screen, it says gallery view, and I think you can see all of us.
Listen to me. I've done that, but mine is a touch screen, and it isn't gallery view. It just says mute, stop video, more. And then it says invite participation, chat 12. Is that what I want to do?
Oh, I'm not sure.
You see, I've got a touch screen, and that's a totally different ballgame.
Yeah.
But I had it before at one time, and it disappeared. So I was thinking of hitting more, so I did. How about if I hit chat? Let me see what I've got. I can't but lose you, right?
No, I'm right here.
Nope. Oh, that's when you know what? That's when you all put questions in there. Boy, am I learning a lot. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've been looking for a lot of, I don't want to leave the meeting, so cancel. I don't know. It's really, if it was like in a classroom and somebody sits next to you, you can get through a lot of stuff. You all agree?
Yeah.
When you're by yourselves and you're trying to figure it out or find it, that's the key word.
Mm-hmm.
It's a totally different ballgame. But you young people should be able to just zoom through this. Did you hear the word Zoom in my vocabulary?
Yes.
Okay, so
I see what you did there.
I thought that I might bring some little picture in there. What did you think? So
Yeah.
how do I get rid of this thing? Okay, so maybe I can't do that. No, I can't. There you are. Oh, you have a lovely puppy.
Oh, thank you. Her name's Nala.
No wonder I'm hearing the birds.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying to myself, where the frick is she?
Yeah, I've been outside this whole time. I didn't want to wake everybody up in the house because I'm visiting my.
I was hearing the birds chirp, and I'm saying to myself, I'm not sitting outside. I'm sitting in my house, and my dogs are quiet, so they're all sleeping. They're not used to being up this early.
Yeah, everybody's asleep in the house right now, so I didn't I felt bad being in the kitchen, and everybody can hear me.
Yeah.
So I
Who was
just
the other person that was on the screen just a minute ago?
I believe that was Alexis.
No, that
But
was Delilah.
oh, it was Delilah.
Kimberly. No,
Yeah.
that's Kimberly right there. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm writing all you down. You know that, guys. So I remember.
Oh wow,
Okay.
you could put a picture instead of the video.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? I'm going to go over the recording afterwards, so I'll be able to see some people, because that's what I'm really trying. I did try to get it all on one screen, but I wasn't able to. But now I'll conquer that by tomorrow.
Hmm.
You
I
know.
can do this more often.
I was trying to figure out that whole to get everybody on one screen thing too right now. So I was messing with the. Let's see.
Yeah, it says Zoom group chat over here on my right, and I don't know how to get that off the screen, but.
Oh,
you
the
got
group
How many
chat.
birds do you all have there? Where are you?
Oh, I'm outside, but we have big
Where are
trees
you living?
outside.
Where are you living?
Oh, I live over here in the valley right now. Well, I'm
so
visiting my mom.
Oh, you are in the valley then. Okay.
Yeah, that's where I am right now.
I
'cause,
didn't think that we had that many birds in Austin.
Oh, for sure. No, we don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, there's no way that I'm hearing birds.
Yeah, we have a lot of birds. They're really loud in the mornings.
I've been trying to feed. I put new feeders out in my tree at my house, and nobody wants to have any food. So I couldn't understand where you got these birds.
Oh no, they've just been living in our trees for the longest time. So it gets pretty annoying, but
No,
they're pretty. I miss
grateful
them.
that you got them.
Yeah, like once I went to Austin, I didn't come outside and hear birds anymore, and that was kind of upsetting, like lonely,
Yeah, I get it. Well, I'm excited about all of you being together, and you'll get to know a little bit more about me. I'm very straightforward. I think you figured that out.
Yes.
But you know what? The most important factor, oh my God, that bird. The most important factor is what you get out of it and what you learn to express on the other end. You get it? And
Yes.
the most important factor for Escapier is to teach you the fundamentals of being successful. And that is really our job, is to make sure you get the foundation. So when you do this resume, think about what you can offer the place that you're applying to make it work. So if you ever need any help, text me. You saw that I wrote a text out for everybody to invite them to come. I hope you saw that. Did you see that, Victoria?
Let me see.
Look at your email, and then
okay.
I wrote a text.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
You saw it?
Let me see. I'm still looking.
I did it on Saturday.
In the portal.
Yes, I see it.
Okay. So if you ever need to get hold of me, you know where to get hold of me, and Chef Cliff and I will work together. I've done restaurant ops myself, but in the pastry department. But if it's pastry or culinary, it doesn't really matter. We're all aiming for the same outcome of what everything is.
Yes.
And so with the direction of Chef Cliff, then we will really bloom and make it work. Well, Victoria, it was lovely talking to you.
Yes,
if you have
it was
any questions for
nice
Chef
talking to
Cliff
you
and myself, and keep those birds chirping, because I love it.
Oh, thank you.
All right, guys, welcome back. I hope everybody had a little bit of good break. Kind of recapping, someone was asking on the chat, like, is it, or was it kind of like this? It's a little different than true discrimination, what I was talking about. And yes, it is, but it's a very fine line. You can discriminate as long as it's written on your job title. are on job description.
Correct.
Yeah, the job description is only if it's that. If not, you have to make sure that everybody is, hold on a second, I apologize. To make sure that no one, if someone shaves off their beard or whatever or whatever I have on my job description, if someone changes that, I have to act. If not, then that opens the litigation for discrimination. Okay, so where there is that fine line of being discriminatory and then making sure that you're still sticking with your job description. Okay.
Cliff, also.
Yes, of course, please.
You have to go where your fit is. That means a hotel will have a different guideline. A country club will have a different guideline. A restaurant will have a different guideline of what their priority is for the job description that you are applying for. So the job description will tell you yay or nay of whether the items that you are comfortable wanting to represent. So that is where you go according to where you want to be. So you're not going to work in a hotel if you are not wanting to do, mass production. If you want to be in a restaurant, you're not going to be doing a mass production like you are in a hotel or in a country club. So every job has its own description of what the entitlement for that job is. And that's how they can kind of not get away with it, but that's the description of the restaurant, the hotel, or the country club.
Yeah. No, I agree. And that's just
yeah, if the shoe doesn't fit, don't go there.
I agree. I completely agree. And that's why stages are around, so where you can kind of be able to test the waters, see if they're a good fit for you, also for them to figure out if you're a good fit for them as well. It's a good staging, I think, is a very important part of what we do in this industry, because it saves you from having to have to quit and all of that. You can just test these guys out and try them out and see what you like, and see if you like them as much as they like you, type of deal. Let's see. When you're giving your resume, if you're handing out your resume, make sure it's not like got a lot of stains, or it's not stained up, or it looks bad. Make sure it looks nice. I always keep a digital copy of my resume on my phone. Google Docs travels with me everywhere, right? With my phone or whatever else. So where just, if let's say I'm at some food festival and some chef is like, hey, I would love to get your resume one day, and okay, here, let me send it to you. So I've got my resume on file real quick, so where I can be able to send it to whoever at any particular time, making sure that you're ready, because you never know when that true dream job is going to happen, and you might find that dream job, you need that resume fast, so always keep it available. Okay. Let's see, when you're kind of interviewing, I think it's very important to, and we're going to go over this a little bit more tomorrow, but making sure you're ready for that interview. Practice with people, if it's over the internet like this, maybe call a friend or something, and practice how you're going to interview, and how if this is good lighting for you, or if this is good whatever else. Just making sure that everything is ready before you do your interview, because once you get on your interview, You do it or you don't. Unfortunately, it's a put up or shut up industry. It's either you do it or you don't do it. I mean, it's either yes or no. So you've got to be ready and have your stuff ready to go, because honestly, I mean, just think here in Austin, how many culinary schools there are. There's ACC has a culinary class. You have Escoffier, you have, I think, Art Institute, you have a couple other smaller ones. So every 6 weeks, there are students coming out trying to, graduating and going for a new job. So you've got to make you look more special than anybody else, and you've got to find your own niche. And that's why, putting down that you'll work weekends or holidays, that you're available to do certain things, you just have to figure out what your niche is and what you can do for them in their job. So, just making sure that you have all that information ready and at your fingertips. References. If you don't have it, like 3 or 4 references, job references and personal references, I would get them now. Start asking some of your friends, coworkers, family, whatever. You might want maybe one family person, one or 2 work people, whatever else, but have some good references, so where they're going to, going to talk good about you, not, anything negative or whatever else. But references are really important as well. And people that are going to, answer the reference calls and to be able to communicate with the job correctly and all of that. I think that's very important. So making sure you have good references when you are creating your resume. And I always have, and again, like for me, I have 2 resumes. Right now I've got an education resume and I've got a culinary resume. So where my education resume, I spotlight, certain items, and so does the culinary. So for you want to make sure you spotlight what you are wanting in that job. Okay. Let's see. Pavla, anything you want to add?
No.
No.
Be yourself.
Okay.
Be yourself and sell yourself. That's what the resume is all about, is selling yourself to get that job. And to be professional, that's a key word, guys. Professional, and tell the truth and step it up.
Yeah, and I am dyslexic. I can't spell worth a damn. I can't, I'm not that good in my spelling, but make sure that whoever, I will make a resume and I'll get my wife to proofread it, or get my brother to proofread it, or something, just something to make sure that everything is done correctly. Because, there are people out there that, punctuations, or making sure that your punctuations are correct. There's a period where there needs to be a period, or a comma when there needs to be a comma, or whatever else. But make sure you have multiple people proofread your resumes, just so where you're not handing out anything that has misspellings or anything that looks bad, and so where people are not going to want to hire you. So you need to make sure it's very, very well polished. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I want you to send it in, so where I can, if I see anything that needs to be polished up a little bit, we're going to polish it up together. So that's kind of why I want you to send in your resumes, so where I can kind of look through them and kind of go through them and make sure that when you get out in the workplace, you're actually looking your best, not looking, I don't want you to look like you don't know what you're doing type of deal. So that is important. Let me see if there's any other questions that somebody has asked on the chat yet. Da, 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 da. Okay, so far I've hit all the questions. All right, so what I would like, and I know it's day one. I'm going to probably let y'all out a little early, but what I want y'all to do is to please send me your resumes. So where all day today, I'm going to be looking at your resumes, and thank you. I've already gotten, 2, 4, 6, 8, around 8 or 9 resumes already. So thank you for sending them in. And we're going to be looking over resumes. We're going to be talking about interviewing tomorrow. What I would like you to do is on the portal, there is under week 1, there is a thing about interviewing. Do you want me to share my screen to show you where that is, or y'all can get on the portal and look for, okay. All right,
Could you do
I'm going to
that?
share my screen.
And Chef, is there a possibility that, or maybe they can get online to get an overall view of what a resume should look like?
Yes, I can try to get that. Hold on a second. Am I sharing my screen with you?
Yes.
Okay. So here's the interviewing right here. So how I got to there, so you log in and you just kind of go all the way down to where it says week 1 and interviewing is right there, and you click on it and you have
I see it. Okay. Good.
you have this talking about interviewing. So what I would like is everybody to look at that for tomorrow, and then also look at this resume one. If you do not have a resume, hold on a second. If you do not have a resume, this is what I want you to look and use this resume right here as your guide. To kind of help you. So you've got your first name, culinary professional, the skills, any education, any experience that you have. And when I'm talking experience, it could be like your first couple of culinary classes. You know, you've already had your surf save or your, just write down any of those classes. You can write regionals. We learned how to cook foods from around the world or whatever else. But that could be experience, your experience right there. Any positions. Now, this position, where it says positions and company name, I would put, I was a truck driver, maybe I would put culinary student at first and from this date to present, and then down below okay, I was a truck driver for this many years, here's the company, and all of that, and any of the information, and then any position or any other awards or certificates or anything that you have down below, you can put underneath positions as well. But this is kind of how, if you're having to create one, this whole section right here is what I want you to kind of look at and create it out of this. This is kind of the rubric I want you to follow for your resume. Does everybody follow that? And then we have so that's the resume and the interviewing. So tomorrow we're going to be talking about interviewing, but today, for the rest of the day, until the end of class or whatever else, I would like y'all to make sure you send me your resume, a copy of your resume, and if you haven't made one, use this resume section right here to help you create a resume. Okay? And then tomorrow we're going to be talking about interviewing and hold on, I'm trying to cancel my sharing. Hold on, be right there. I'm trying to figure out how to stop sharing now. Well, hold on. Is my fault. Oh, there we go. Or I thought. Well, I can't figure out how to get my face back on the screen. Chef Pablo, is there anything
I
you want
see
to?
it. I see your face.
Oh, you do? But am I still sharing?
You're still sharing. I see you. And then you've got
advanced.
the other screen on the other side, so I got that.
All right. Well, I don't know why I can't see everybody else now, but
I can't
anyway.
see everybody either, but I can see you.
All right. Well, any questions, please put it in the chat because I can't see you right now. I'm trying to stop videoing or stop sharing, but.
So the students can go back to after you recorded it and you're going to post it onto their portal, onto the portal that they can go back and get whatever they need.
Yes, that is correct. And now I can see y'all. Sorry, but yes. Now, basically what I want is y'all to work on your resume. If you don't have a resume, make one using that template that I showed you, and email that to me today, sometime today, or before class tomorrow morning. But I would like it sometime today, just so I can look at it, and then we can use that resume tomorrow for the interviewing process. Any questions, problems, concerns? We good? Everybody good? I posted in the chat room my email address, but it's Chef Dickerson at escoffier.edu or C Dickerson at escoffier.edu. Any of those two will work. C Dickerson at escoffier.edu or Chef Dickerson at escoffier.edu. Any of those two will work for me. If you can email me your resume, and tomorrow will be kind of the same thing. I'll log in early, around 15 minutes till 6, and then I will right at 6 o'clock, I'll turn on my video and we'll get started. And this is kind of how it's going to go. We're going to do a little bit, and then I'm going to get you to go on your own and do it. But what I'm going to do is, once y'all leave, I'm going to leave my screen on until 9 o'clock. So if you have any questions or while you're working on your resume, you can log in and I will be able to answer any questions for you. If you do not have any problems, if you already have a resume, fine. Don't worry about it. You're good. You're good. So you don't need to get back online. But if you have any questions, I will be available for any questions and answers individually or as a group until 9 o'clock. Is everybody good with that?
I'll be here too.
All right, so you can hang up if you want to. You can stay on, but I'm going to just leave it on, and I will be on this call, but I'm going to only answer it if y'all have any questions, or if you pipe in and ask me. Hold on a second. Someone hits in the chat. Heard. All right, thank you. Cool. So everybody's good with that. Thank you so very much, all of y'all, for showing up. We had perfect attendance this morning. Everybody showed up. That was awesome for day one. Thank you, and thank you. If there's anything, you've got my email. You can call me. You can text me. Whatever you need, feel free. All right? Peace. And Chef Pabla, I'm going to just put my picture on. I'm going to just stop my video and have my picture on. But if there's anything you need, just yell at me.
Yeah, I'll be here too. I'll be here till 9 o'clock.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for all coming together. Let's work at it.
Chef Pablo, you don't have to sit there. You can just kind of turn it on mute or whatever else. I can't hear you.
I was on mute.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I've been trying to figure it out on my iPad and my phone how to do stuff. So that's why I've been trying to get that
Yeah,
done.
well, I am too. So I think it's just taking a little learning curve for me.
Yeah, it is. And for me, oh my gosh, you know my reputation.
No, you're good.
No,
You're great.
your reputation is better than mine.
I don't know about that.
Oh yeah. But I'm really trying to
Oh no, you're doing amazing. Thank you.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put in the attendance for today.
Please do, and then I will. So I'm still trying to figure. I mean, I had it taken care of that all of it was on a screen, and now all of a sudden I can't. So.
Yeah, mine. I'm still trying to figure mine out as well.
I'm trying. I don't know. I'm going to have to go and chat and figure this out because my monitor is blank. It just says Zoom on it, and I really want to transfer it over there to have all the people on it. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
So
I'm going to figure it out.
So you have the monitor, and all it says is Zoom.
That's all it says on it.
Okay, so
then I have my computer.
So let me show you what I'm gonna. Let me share my screen with you and show you. So can you see what I have right now?
But I have that comes on my computer. It doesn't. I guess I could transfer it.
Okay, so what I do is I move it up. So like what I do is, okay, so you're seeing that Zoom on your computer.
Oh, I'm seeing it on my monitor.
Monitor, okay. And do you have your computer hooked up to that monitor?
But I can transfer your picture on my computer onto the monitor, and I don't understand why, because I could do that yesterday. Because I know I need to click it and download it onto my monitor. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll get there. Because all I see
Any
on
way
the
you
screen.
can you share your screen so I can look at it?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna do it on this.
Okay, that's fine. Oh, you know what? I would need it. Well, how would I do that?
Well, I'm gonna call you.
Okay, you're gonna call me. Okay, thank
I'm
you.
gonna call you, and
Okay.
then, okay, first of all, can you just give me your number?
Yeah, it's 512
Yeah,
771 4979.
okay. That's how I usually do it with my son, and then he talks me through all the
Yeah.
stuff.
No, that's fine.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
of course.
I thought the people last week confused me more.
Oh, those people did confuse me.
I could not figure it. I mean, there's a lot of smarter people than I am, but
No,
they
those people,
confused me
they
more, and
confuse me.
that's why I didn't say anything till I got off, and then, okay, so I got you on Zoom. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna flip the phone. Can you see?
Yep. Hold on a sec.
No. Oh. So, do I need to flip it? There. That's what I see. And this is my other screen. You see it? And I don't get it. Can you see that? Chef.
Okay, so yeah, I see it. So what? Hold
And
on.
there's my monitor. Nothing. And that's my screen. Are you on mute? You've got to be on mute. I can hear you now.
On top on that screen where it has us, our picture.
Yeah.
You see where it has that blue, that dark blue up at the very top?
This?
No, just up a little bit more.
Oh, it says Zoom meeting. That's all it says.
Yeah. So, like up at the, do you see that red X at the
Yeah.
right? Okay, just you'll see all that blue. What I would do is I would get your mouse, grab that.
I don't need to. It's a touch screen.
Okay, then don't touch the X, touch the blue, feeling right in the middle where it says Zoom meeting.
There. Got it. Do you see the difference?
Yeah.
Got it.
Is that what you wanted?
Yeah, that's what I want. And I think the other ones will come into play. But how can I go from this screen that I have in front of me to the big one? Do you get what I'm saying? To my monitor.
So what you do is you take.
You click it and drag it.
Yes. You drag it over.
Okay, which one do I need to do? The right or the left or the thing?
Click on the blue outline, the dark blue up at the very top.
There's a green outline.
Or no, just right down below that outline. You see that big dark blue? Yeah, right there. No, up. Yeah, right there.
No.
So, no, up just a little bit. It's the border. Yeah, see
Oh, okay. Okay, wait. I got it now. Wait. So I'm gonna do that.
Yep, there you go.
Okay, and put it right here.
Now you can make that bigger.
By hitting that thing that I just hit before.
You got it. That's correct.
Oh, okay, got it.
Now on your laptop, you can now pull up the portal.
Okay, and that is my right here.
Yep.
Okay,
Wait. You can do it on your laptop. Yeah, bring that, and then now you can pull up your laptop, and whatever's on your laptop is not showing.
oh, well, the other one disappeared.
Oh. Okay, X that out.
Exit out,
What is that?
nothing.
The Zoom. Oh, you can minimize it.
Where do I hit the minimize?
Hold on a second.
Oh, right there, I got that zoom again. Okay,
You can X out that one or whatever that is. See if you can close that out.
yep.
There you go. Okay.
And there is my chat that I wanted. Okay, I got it. But on my other one, on my computer, then I can go to,
Now you can do anything on your other computer.
okay, then I can go to Google and come up, right?
Yes, you're correct.
Okay. Okay, now I know that I can go in that box up there. Okay. Thank,
Now, you want to try to share something just while you and I are sitting here?
sure.
Okay, so you see that it's a green little button?
It says share screen.
Yes, share.
I hit it.
Hit that. And now you have, it's asking you which one to share. So you want to share, let's share the screen one, the one with not my picture. So
That's the one, that's my computer. That's my computer.
yep, click that. And hit OK or whatever that button is on the very bottom.
Okay, wait a minute, share. Okay, I got it.
Or share, okay. And now it is, now get on your laptop and you can, I don't know, get onto Google, or just kind of open up Chrome or Google and
I got it.
but it's still, okay, now hold on. You see how it's showing right there?
Correct.
You need to take that and you need to grab it and move it over to your computer, to your laptop.
So I'm talking about, I'm dashboard. Yeah. Wait.
Do you see you have Google open right on your?
Yeah, it says Google sign in.
Go to the very top. Can you move your phone up a little bit? There you go. See that tab?
Where? Oh, the images? No.
Go to the Google, the top of the Google. Yeah, right. Go up a little bit further. You see where that tab is? Yeah, you're getting close. Just don't hit that X. Go over a little bit to your left.
That one?
Or to your left.
It says new tab.
Okay, yeah, now drag that, click it, and drag it to your laptop.
Right there.
Okay, now,
I see.
here, now let me show you what I see on mine. So this is what I see now.
Okay, correct.
So now you're sharing your screen. So if you want to share some sort of PowerPoint or whatever else,
Okay.
you can share it just like that.
Well, let me tell you, Cliff, this is just because I did this today doesn't mean I can do it tomorrow.
No, but that's fine. We can do it again.
Yeah, do you understand my point?
Yeah, it's just repetition.
Yeah.
Doing it over again a couple times, but at least you have, you see that you can do it.
Yeah.
And I can walk you through.
Correct. Yeah. Because I tell you, with those people last week, I would have rather us do our class just by ourselves. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that also, what's his name? Felix had a hard time. And Gary. Trying to figure it out. Do you know what I mean? Okay, thank you. If you could get the grades done today, that would be awesome, awesome. And then you will work on that tomorrow. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you for everything.
All right, you're welcome.
It was a good, I think it was a good start of a day, and then
I do agree.
And then we can work on it, okay? And if you
All
need
right.
me, I'm going to be at the house.
Sorry, I actually hung up on your FaceTime. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I'm going to be here. And if you have any questions, do you want me to work you through how to stop sharing?
What do you mean, stop sharing?
Because
Oh, no. All you have to do, I do is just to return to meeting, and then it says, it should be stop sharing. So there's got to be something on here.
Do you want to FaceTime me again, and I can help you? So,
Oh, you don't have me?
no, I actually can't. Here, let me log you in. Or
I see you. Oh, I see what you're talking about. I got it. I see what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, no worries.
I see you on the computer.
Okay. So, okay, then if you see me on the computer, that's fine. I'll turn this off.
Yeah. That's why, like I have my iPad right next to me, and then I have my phone, and then I have notepads, and then I have all of this stuff around me.
Gotcha.
But I'm trying to work it out.
All right. Well, if there's any questions, I'm going to be just sitting here. I'm going to put in the attendance and grades,
Okay.
and
And
if you
so
need me,
are
just let me know.
Okay, are you going, I'm just trying to think, is the names on the portal that Shelley sent us for the students, or how do we go?
Yes.
Okay, so we had
Yeah,
we had what, 29 people show up today? And
I had 30 at one point. So I'm going to look through, as I've got all the grades or all the names. I took a photo of it.
Oh,
So
that's what I was going to say. I was going to take a photo of it too, so at least, but
Yeah.
now I know a little bit. So the next couple of days, if you could help me, and then I'll
Yeah,
step
of
up to the
course.
plate.
Of course. No problem. You're doing amazing. Thank you.
No, I'm not, but I'm trying to do what I
Yeah,
can.
we're all doing good. So,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, it's one of those things where it's all new to us, so we're just learning. But it's all good. Thank you, Chef
Hey,
Pablo.
a week ago, I couldn't get on, so you know what?
That is right. That is right. That is totally true.
All
Well,
right,
thank you, Chef Pablo. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, so now. Okay. Oh, I see.
So I had a quick question.
Yes.
So I'm working on my resume. How many job references is too many?
Well, I wouldn't go more than, I would probably say 3.
Okay. How
And
should
are
I
you talking
tell?
about jobs or job references?
Jobs. My bad.
Jobs. Yeah, but you know, it just depends. The last job you had, how long was it for?
It was only, I think, 5 months.
Months. The one before it.
Almost a year.
Okay. So that's what you really want to entail or show how long you've been at a job. If you are a skipper, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Because there's a lot of people that skip. You have to be very careful because if you've only been there a month, I wouldn't even put it in there. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
you know, you've got to kind of represent yourself and sell yourself. And so if you're going to go do that, how old are you?
22.
Okay. And I'm not being disrespectful. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I'm just finding out the reality of what life is all about. So you've been out of high school since 18, I would say 18 or 19. Yeah,
16.
I think, you know, I mean, you could say, what did you do before?
Before I was cooking, the only job I had before that was as a banker.
Oh, you were a banker. So, you know, you could say a change, a change of, and you've always loved cooking. Is that why you got into it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it? So you had to kind of find your true way of what you wanted to express.
Absolutely.
And banking wasn't it, right?
No, it was not.
Okay, for me too. If I had to sit in an office, they'd have to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I would, you know, I'm going to say at your young age, I wouldn't go more than back then. You know, did you cook anywhere? Have you cooked anywhere?
Yeah. So I worked at 2 places. Like probably the most credible places I worked at were the ones I worked at for 5 months before I came down here for school.
Where are you from?
Kansas City.
Oh, okay. So, so you really was into banking and then you went into the restaurant world.
Correct.
Correct. Yeah, I would say 3 for you at your age.
Okay.
Because, you know, I mean, what did you do? I mean, you could tell them at the end, you could say the 2 restaurants, and then you could say why you left for that 5 months that you came to school, correct?
Correct.
So that's what I would say, change of venue or change of state to pursue my culinary world, you know, going to school, because they need to know why you came to Austin or why you are here new. And so, you know, are you planning on staying in Austin or are you going to go back home?
I'm going back.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
Different world, isn't it?
Say that again.
A different world.
Absolutely. I have a job here at a Sway right now, but I got.
Oh, that's great. I know Sway.
Yeah, I'm just furloughed right now.
I know. Everybody is, honey.
Yeah.
It changes everybody's life. It really has brought an attention to finding out, all of us individually, what is important to us. And really making you young people, I don't mean to, I'm generalizing it. Do you hear me what I'm saying? To realize the importance of what we are supposed to do in this world, because remember, we're here for a reason, to give back and learn something.
Absolutely.
And I think you'll learn that when I talk a lot, that it's the process of learning every day. Got to learn something every day. And you can't be where you are if you don't learn something every day. Yeah, I would say 3 for you. Okay. At your age. Now, if it was somebody like me, maybe You know, I don't change jobs, but every 15 years, I was a person that stayed somewhere. But I learned something, and I was a leader. So for me, it was motivation for my people that work for me to learn something all the time. And I brought something new in. So that's, you want to go somewhere where you're going to learn something, okay?
Okay.
And not exist. Do you hear me what I said? And repetitive of what you're doing. Learn something. I've got to meet you sometime, Andrew. Do you
Sounds
know
like a
me?
plan.
Have I met you?
I don't think so.
No? Were you in, which class were you in?
I had Chef Ench's class for my first cooking
Who's?
back in Chef Ench, Chef August.
Hey, oh gosh, okay.
And then I had to take a medical leave of absence, and then I came back in January, and I've just been doing like actual classes like this.
Okay. And what was wrong with you that you'd take a leave of absence?
So I started showing like symptoms of cancer. or something.
Really?
Yeah. And I got
But they
pretty
didn't find any, right?
no, I had a few surgeries and a bunch of IVs later, and I'm all better.
You feeling better?
Absolutely.
That's great. Yep. And you're still pursuing it. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Good mindset. Did you hear me? Think of how you want to interpret something. So yeah, I would say 3 for sure. Any other questions? I'll always be here, okay?
Awesome. I am good to go now.
All right. Thank you, sir.